Take a moment here. So elevate your hips, spread out your shoulders, and close your eyes. And for our full moon flow today, I invite you to begin our practice by visualizing a full moon. And imagine that that full moon has so much light that it radiates and reflects its light across the ocean. And because of that reflection, even though it's the darkest part of the night, you're able to see. And everything seems soft and muted and still. And isn't it amazing that even though we are all over the world, it's the same full moon for all of us. Imagine that that full moon is willing to share energy, light, and clarity with you. And all you have to do is be able to receive it. That if you're willing to be outside in the light of the moon, it will be regenerating and restorative to you. So in our full moon flow practice today, treat yourself tenderly. Let today be an opportunity where you move slowly. Worry less about how you connect each breath to each pose. Soften and just flow the way that you see the light ripple across the ocean. Bring your hands gently to heart center. And I invite you to set an intention that will take some time. Because as our days are only 24 hours long, it takes 30 days for the moon to complete a cycle. So set an intention today that is not something that is checking off your list to do or task, but rather an intention that needs to grow and needs some space and some time. And after you've set your intention, gently bring your hands up towards the ceiling, keeping your palms together. As you inhale, reach, and then exhale, open your hands, take them gently down to your sides, palms are up. Moving very slowly, let your fingers settle to the floor and gently drop a little bit more weight into your right hand as you sweep your left arm up and over. And again, not worried about how deep you go or what you're feeling. Just feel it and be. Let your left hand drift gently to the floor. And as your fingertips find the mat and then your hand finds the mat, your right hand floats up off the floor, up to the sky, and gently allowing you to lean down into your left hand. Soften your breath as much as you're softening your left elbow. Gently let your right hand float back down to the mat. Bring your right hand to your left knee. And keeping your eyes closed, let your body twist towards the left. Breathe in and breathe out. Release your hand. Let yourself rotate at the torso so your left hand finds your right knee. Let your right fingertips rest on the floor and gently find a twist at the ribs. There are plenty of times to be more assertive. In this moment, embrace the stillness. Like when you can see in the night, the things are softer, and even though you can see, nothing is bright or blinding. And let's let that allow us to have clarity today. Bring yourself back to center. Gently come off of your seating position and make your way to a soft forward fold at the top of your mat. Letting your feet be about hip width distance apart. Bend your knees as much as you can to feel like you're settled. Find a place for your hands. It could be on the block, the floor. Draw your chin towards your chest. Let gravity pull the crown of your head down towards the mat. Just as there's gravitational force for the way that the earth, the moon, and the sun move together, let there be a shift in your physical body as gravity pulls your head, pulls your energy down towards the earth. Gently push through your feet, one vertebrae at a time, rise all the way up. Move very slowly. Sweep your arms intentionally and gently up towards the sky. And then bringing your hands back out to the sides like you were swan diving down, lead with your chest and forward fold again. When you're there, bring your hands to the backs of your ankles or the backs of your knees. Soften your jaw, soften your elbows. Bend your knees slightly, draw your chest towards your thighs. Folding in half. Release your hands from your ankles. Find your fingers to the floor or to your block. And then step your left foot back and find yourself in a low lunge. The block is helpful in front of your hands if your hands don't reach the floor. If the block doesn't give you the height you need, take your hands to your knee. Good. Lift your chin a bit, stay in your gaze here. Good. And breathe. See if you can steady your inhale and your exhale. Take your mind off of the work and into the flow of your breath. Appreciating that the sensation that you have in your right leg is simply your muscle recruiting more blood and using the energy to stabilize your body. Take another big breath in and then drop your left knee. Put your left hand on the block. As you lunge into your right knee, let your right hand sweep up towards the sky. So I have my left hand on the block, right arm towards the sky. Good. And if it's too much pressure on your hand, you can always just put your left hand on your thigh and reach up here. If your neck is okay, look up at your thumb and allow gravity to drop your hips just a bit towards the mat. Find that moment of stillness. When I think about the moon, I think about how it looks so still. Steady. Radiant. So absorbing those qualities today. Sweep your right hand down. Tuck the toes on your left foot. Lift your knee. Walk your hands around so that now you're facing the back of your mat, and soften your right knee again so you're in a slight lunge. I'm using the block underneath my hands. If the floor is too far away, you could be here in more of a warrior two. Lift your gaze so you're not just lifeless through your head and your neck, but lift through your neck. Spread your collarbone wide. Hold all this grounding in your right foot. And then straighten your right leg. Turn your toes so they're parallel to that long left edge of your mat and fold forward. Lift your chest, find yourself in a flat back. Put your right hand on the block and take a side twist, peeling your left arm up towards the sky or behind your back. Both legs are straight. Right hand on the block. And remember, there are different heights for the block, so you could have that block at its highest level and still appreciate that twist. Take enough time to have a couple breaths here. And then turn your body towards your left foot, shifting now so that you're in a low lunge with your left foot facing forward. Drop your right knee. Put your right hand on the block where your right foot normally would be if it was next to your left foot, and peel your left hand up towards the sky. Lean in, let gravity drop through your hips. Open your fingers, find stillness. Draw your left shoulder back and down. Find your breath, the steady breath in through the nose, cleansing exhale through your nose. And then gently come back down to the floor. Frame your front foot. You can use the block for height with both hands on the block, and lift your back knee. You're in the low lunge. Lift your chest, lift your chin. My ribs are really hugging my thigh. If that's too difficult, raise your chest. You could even rest your hands on the block here. Remember, the block has different heights as well, so you could have it at a higher height on the floor. Set your gaze on something. Steady, breathe. Let this movement be more about receiving, stillness. Gently start to straighten your left leg. Travel back to where we were before in that side facing forward fold. Both toes are parallel to the edge of the mat. Fold. Put your left hand on the block. Sweep your right arm up towards the sky. Take a twist. Both legs are straight. Bring your right hand down. Bend your left knee. Lean into that side. Finding a side lunge towards the left. Stand all the way up. Inhale, reach your arms up, pressing your hip bones forward. And then exhale, reset, bringing your hands together at heart center. Turn towards your right foot and step to the top of the mat. Bring your block with you. Take a big breath in, reach up. Soften your knees, push your waist and tailbone back, fold. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Gently rise all the way up again. Take your right arm up towards the sky. Grab your wrist with your left hand and lift through the ribs and lean. Lean towards the right. Make a crescent moon shape with your body. And be mindful that you're parallel along your side waist, so you're not dropping your left shoulder down towards the floor. Push your left hip bone out. Hug everything in. Inhale, lift back up to center. Separate your hands, reach up and back. Come back to your center. Circle your left wrist with your right fingers. Lift through your ribs and drop your waist and your shoulders over to the left as you lean. Be steady in the stillness. Maybe closing your eyes and just being in the awareness of your body, your feet on the floor, breathing. Inhale, come back up to center. Relax your hands to your sides and step so you're facing the long edge of your mat. Take your feet apart, heels in, toes out a bit, and then gently drop into your seat here, into a goddess squat. Straight up and down with your spine and your tailbone. Gently, steadily sweep your arms so they're parallel to the floor, palms are up. Lift your toes and fan them back out on the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Hug your belly button in and drop your tailbone down a bit. This is you, strong, steady, able to make intentions and choices that last more than a moment. Recognizing that there are cycles to our life, cycles and seasons that will happen no matter what we do. Appreciate that flow. The natural order of our planets and our universe. Straighten your legs, reach your both arms up towards the sky. Reaching up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open back up. Drop into this squat. Tucking your pelvis under a bit. And then find extended side angle by straightening your left leg, turning that foot like it's a warrior 2 foot parallel to the back edge of your mat. Right elbow to right thigh. My right knee is bent. Left leg becomes straight. Give yourself the space you need. And you can have your left hand on your hip or sweep that arm up and over. So right elbow, right thigh, left leg straight. Good. Can you lengthen through your elbow all the way to the tip of the middle finger on your left hand? Open your right hand so the palm is up towards the sky. This receiving gesture, like the gift of something that you don't even know is coming for you, is going to be placed in the palm of your hand. Turn your gaze gently up towards the sky. Take a breath. Inhale, exhale. Hug everything in. Gently bring your left hand down, stand all the way up, straighten your right leg. And then slide your right hand down to your knee and find your triangle pose. A similar movement with the upper body, but different with your legs. Potential to put your hand on a block that's close to the floor. Or have your hand, it doesn't need to be down low, just reaching, wrist to wrist, one line. Find strength in being steady and still. Sometimes we need that anchor. We look to those people who are steady and still. Sometimes they can give us the same energy that something that's moving all around. Sweep yourself back up. Turn your toes forward. Take a big stretch, chest up towards the sky, and then exhale, lead with your chest forward fold. Find grounding for your hands on the block, floor, or on the backs of your legs. Potential to take a bind, taking your peace fingers to your big toes here and letting your head hang down towards the floor. Take the type of breath that really clears you out. So a deep breath in through your nose and a big cleansing deep exhale. Feel the lightness that you gain, even if it's just from changing the way that you breathe. Release your hands. Bring them to your hips, rise all the way back up. Turn your toes out. Put the weight in your heels, drop down into your squat. Find your legs first. And then inhale, gently bring your hands out to a T, palms up. Close your eyes. Let this be a type of balance with your eyes closed, feeling the air resting on the palms of your hands. Feeling the length through your triceps on this bottom part of your arm. Feeling the strength and the energy through the muscles of your legs. Feeling gratitude for this body. Good. Extended side angle on the left side. Drop your left elbow to your left thigh. Pivot your right foot so it becomes long. And drop into your left knee here. Sweep your right arm up, maybe up and over. If you're reaching up and over, extend from the wrist so that you become this straight line. There's the angle, right? That's the angle from your wrist to your heel on the right. Open your left palm, spreading out your fingers, receiving. Not hunting, not getting, just receiving. Turn your gaze slightly up, even if your eyes are closed, and breathe. Look at the discipline to be still. Gently drop your right hand. Stand up. And then transition again, sliding your left hand down, triangle pose. Lifting through your right shoulder. Activating the right side of your body, so we're not dumping into the left at all, but lifting and reaching. Open through your right shoulder back. Palm is extended. Your left hand might be reaching for a block or anchoring on your leg. Take a breath in and lead with your right palm as you sweep back up and over. Turn your toes. Take a big breath in, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center, big forward fold. Take your feet out as wide as you possibly can for this forward fold so that you can drop as much of your upper body towards the floor as possible. So the wider your feet, the more you'll go towards the floor. Allow yourself to be stretched. Understand that's where your potential lies, and bring forearms to a block. Maybe head to the floor. If your head goes to the floor, make a basket and cup the back of your head. If your head goes to a block, you might set that block at the highest height and rest your forehead here with your hands on the ground. Tremendous opening through your hips, through your inner thighs. Steady breath. Be still. Gently bring your feet back closer together and drop to your knees. Take a child's pose. Hard work being a moon, isn't it? Drop your forehead to the block or to the floor. Soften your hips back towards your heels. If your head is on a block, move it out of the way for a moment and walk your hands gently off of your mat to the right. Bring your left palm on top of your right. Taking a really long reach that goes all the way to your left hip. And how you are right here is up to you. Be in the space that is going to be rejuvenating and rebuilding for you. Is it a space where your elbows are on the ground and you're in a little cocoon? Or is it a space where you're reaching through your fingertips so much that your arms are lifted up off the floor? Inhale. Exhale, move through center. Pause for a moment in your center. And then start to walk your hands to the left. Finding so much length as you bring your right palm on top of the left hand. Again, maybe reaching a lot through your fingertips so your elbows lift up off the floor, or perhaps drawing your arms in, resting your head and your elbows on the ground. Sink into your physical space and listen for your breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Come back to center. Cross your ankles, sit down on your sitting bones, extend your legs out in front of you. You can use your block underneath your knees if you like. Sit up tall, draw your belly in, shoulders wide. And then gently inhale, slowly sweep your arms up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers, making a pointing fingers with your 2 index fingers together. And then fold forward. Keep your hands interlaced and let your fingers and your wrists drop to a place along your legs. Knees bent is totally fine. Block under your knees will give you more height and length. If your wrists can catch your toes, then hold them there. Keep that extension. Let everything fold. Toes are up towards the sky. Breathe in and breathe out. Release your fingers. Gently rise all the way back up. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. You can stay here or take it across your leg. And then anchor your left hand on your right knee. Twist towards the right. If you need a little height, put a block underneath your right hand. Close your eyes. Lengthen your spine and the back of your neck. Have you recognized that sometimes we worry so much about the things that are only happening to us during the daytime, and then they all go away at night? And that if we were frozen in time and then we had to open our eyes again and a full moon cycle had gone by, a lot of those things would have sorted themselves out. Just by being still. Gently release your right hand. Come back around. Unhook your right foot. Extend it long and draw your left leg up towards your chest. Some of you may want to stay right here. Some of you may want to bring your left foot over your right thigh. The block underneath your left hand, a little bit behind you, will give you some height as you anchor your right hand to your left knee and take a twist towards the left. Allow yourself to use the leverage from your elbows, from your arms, from your shoulders to find length in your waist. If you're clenching your jaw or your forehead or your eyes, relax your face. Lengthen through the back of your neck and the crown of your head. Breathe in and breathe out. Unwind. Turn your body back to center. Uncross your legs. Bring the soles of your feet together. Anchor your hands onto your feet. Lift your chest and then lead with that lifted chest as you fold forward. So rather than rounding your back, tucking your chin, telescope your neck and your spine and lean forward. Breathe in and breathe out. Go back to that intention and plant it like a seed in the still of the night. Acknowledging that intention, it's going to take time. and patience. Perhaps more than one season. Release your feet. Cross your ankles. Come to your hands and knees. And move. Move through a cat-cow. Move through hips side to side. We did a lot of work in your legs, so find this opening in your hips, rotating around here. We're going to find our final little bit of flow through side plank and flip dog, since that's our practice poses for this month. If you have bad shoulders, no arms like Nicole, figuratively, then you're on your back doing some core work while we're in high plank. Maybe in high plank, friends. Lift your knees. You haven't had any weight on your arms yet, so press through the mat. Engage through your shoulders. We start to find the sunrise here, so start to bring some power and energy into your body. Big breath in. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Lengthen your back, no rounding through your back, dropping your heels towards the mat, softening your knees, pushing through your hands. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Option to drop your left knee as we lift our right leg up towards the sky and bend your knee open through your hip. You can do this in your down dog or do this with your left knee down. Take it the rest of the way, either from your knee, drop that foot behind you, peel your right arm up towards the sky, or go all the way over from your down dog. Put your foot on the floor, pivot, reach your hips up. On your left hand, there you go. We're practicing. Come back around, drop your knees, rest. Child's pose. Come back to your hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Find this high plank. The sun struggles to break through the clouds and the fog to come up in the morning. Good. Nicole, while we do the side plank, you do 10 hip dips really slowly. Push back to your downward dog, friends. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Option to have your right knee down. If your right knee is down, you just drop your left foot back, peel your left hand up to the sky. Listen to me if you're in down dog. Let's do it together. Left leg up, knee is bent. Your right arm is supporting you. As you drop your foot to the floor, pivot now so both feet are parallel like the number 11 and push your hips up towards the sky. What's happening with your left hand? Doesn't matter. Strong core. Good. Graceful. Come back around. I couldn't see you, but it sounded exciting. Hands and knees. Back. I hate I missed it. All right. Back to your child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Final opportunity to become the daylight. Come back to your high plank. Nicole, your legs are at a 45-degree angle, shoulders lifted. You can cross your arms over your chest if you like, or reach. Excellent, you guys. Push the weight in your left hand. Drop your heels towards the left. Peel your right arm up towards the sky. Your modification is to drop your bottom knee, lift your right leg. Be with me here. Amazing. Thank you. Good. Drop everything down. Hands and knees. Press back to your child's pose. Press through your hands, press through your shoulders. Stay in the moment. Come back to your high plank. Toes are back, knees are lifted, belly tight, hugging everything in. Feel the weight in your right hand. Drop your knees to the right. Turn your body to the left edge of your mat. Reach. Your modification is right knee down, left leg up. Strong. Breathe. Go through it all the way. Come back down. Good work. Cross your ankles. Sit back. Let's all lay down on our back. Take the child's pose you need on the way. Take your time. We'll go all the way down to our back. Find a pose on your back that feels rejuvenating to you. So that is whatever is calling for you right now. You have familiarity with your body, and what a gift that you can choose. Reclaim your breath. Be still. Bend both knees. Put your feet on the floor. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. And gently press through your heels, lifting your hips up off the floor. Opening through your back and through the front of your hips in bridge pose. Let this be about opening or stretching and integration more than a struggle. So if it feels struggle, drop your hips a little bit and just feel the pressure through your heels, integration of your glutes with your back, lower down. Toss your knees all the way to the right. Turn your gaze to the left. If your right knee drops to the floor and your left knee is pretty close, you can take your outer right ankle and bring it on top of your outer left thigh, giving yourself a little anchor here to pull your left thigh down some more. Good. Keep your gaze towards the left, your hand extended. Breathe. Uncross your right ankle if it was there. Bring your knees back up to center. Gently take your knees to the left. And we'll go in phases, so just be here for a moment. Taking your right hand long, letting your chin drop towards the right. And with your knees towards the right, if your towards the left. If your left knee is on the floor, you can take your left outer ankle rested on your right thigh to pull both knees more towards the left. Some of you might feel that increase the intensity of the opening through your hips. Gravity doing the work in that space that's happening between your right knee and the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. Gently remove your left foot. Bring your knees back up to center. And take your knees to your chest. Keep your back flat on the floor and just rock a little bit side to side, left to right, with your knees hugged in, hands on the fronts of your knees. Let your feet relax. Feel the back of your pelvis as you go from bony crest to bony crest, side to side. Find stillness. Lift your chest. Hug your thighs, hug your knees, make yourself into a ball. Squeeze in, creating compression through your abdomen. Hug in as tight as you can. Squeeze everything in. And when we let go, really be willing to let something go. Breathe in, exhale, release your legs, release everything. Spread out like a big X. Sigh out. Do that one more time. Bring your knees together. Slowly. Move slowly. Draw your knees to your chest. Begin by just finding that anchor of your hands on the fronts of your knees. And then start to create some additional integration, pulling your thighs towards your chest, towards your belly, creating compression. Lift your shoulders. Hug by pulling your arms around your legs. Squeeze in like you're squishing everything together. And then you're going to have all this new space. Take a big breath in. Exhale, let everything go. Unwind and settle. Take a big stretch from fingers to toes. And bring your hands back down to the floor. I invite us to spend a minute or so with our legs supported. So either finding your block or your blanket, putting it under your hips, or turning towards a wall or a piece of furniture that's close by and propping your heels to rest up on that wall. I'm going to give you enough time to be here that even if you want to move off camera or to another space so that you can spend the time there, do that. Take your legs up. Settle here. Everything is draining that was in your feet, the things that are heavy. Improving the circulation through the lower half of your body. Your opportunity to take some deep breaths. Be in the stillness. Slowly start to let your heels drop towards the floor. Move as slow as you like or as you can until you rest with straight legs extended on the mat. Perhaps your hips are still on a block or your pillow and they're elevated a bit, giving you some opening through your lower back and the front of your hips. Breathe here. Find a way to bring your hips back down all the way to the floor, moving your block or your blanket. And I invite you today to rest with your palms up. Receiving the energy from the full moon, energy that truthfully we don't really understand. We don't understand why we feel differently when it's a full moon. We don't understand some of the phenomenon that happen with all living things during a full moon. Be content to not understand and to appreciate something a little mystical, even if just for today. Close your eyes, soften your jaw. Be in your moment of rest. So slowly, like you were in the deepest, softest sleep. Move your toes. Feel some awakening through your legs. Move your fingers and your wrists. Feel some awakening through your arms. Stretch in a way that allows you to rejuvenate from tips of your fingers all the way down to your feet. And then we'll meet seated, taking your time to get there. Keeping your eyes closed, just feeling yourself making the shifts in your body. As you bring your hands to heart center, with gratitude for the opportunity to share a moment in space, in time, where we all look at the same moon, reminded that the world will not be changed by our opinions, but by our actions. Lead with love, my friends. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste.
Namaste.